He's like, okay, they call 911, whatever is being called. Fine. Next thing you know, I guess he let Snow know. Long story short, Snow never came. Snow was under this impression that we were just there for the ride and all this extra shenanigans. And to me, I felt like, people are going to be, and they're going to look at things from a different point of view. I've learned to respect that. This warm hole of like colors hit me in my face. I feel like I'm no longer here. Something inside of me is saying, oh, Lillie, something is wrong. Freak out because you're not okay. I felt like I was here, but not here. It's the best way I can express it. You know that song that goes like, do, 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 do? No? Let's try again. Hi my lilies, welcome back to my channel, and today I am going to have a sit down with you and mukbang. Basically, I ordered this food from a barbecue shack. I'm not really sure the name, but we got some mac and cheese here. Don't know if you can really see it, but mac and cheese here. Ideally is double mac and cheese. Some cornbread, of course, which I'll go ahead and open up. We also have some barbecue ribs, which I have put some hot sauce, red hot, on top of it. Absolutely love spicy food, so it's a must for me. Some baked beans, greens, and I believe yellow rice. My lover went out and he brought me back this food, so I'm going to enjoy it. I normally tend to not really eat out as much, but from time to time we like to spoil ourselves with a great lunch or dinner or even breakfast. So it's good to sometimes just enjoy the hands of someone else creating food for us to eat. I have been wanting to do this mukbang for a while. I recently just came back from a vacation I had in Dominican Republic, my homeland, and I gotta say 2024 so far has been a year full of what can I say, changes. I've realized I've made lots of drastic changes, and I want to share with you a story time that I believe is time for me to reveal. As you can tell through my channel, I don't really have a category of what my channel is about. From the beginning, from my very first video, I've expressed that I just basically want to share parts of my life with you all, and I will also share my vulnerable side. And if you hear something, that's again my ice machine. If you've been following me and seeing all my videos, you will know that I have an ice machine in the kitchen. It likes to make noises at times when it's making it. For those who are new to my channel, by the way, welcome to the magical Lillie unicorn family. I love to call you my lilies because you guys are beautiful flowers. Let's be beautiful and always remember that you are beautiful. I like to call myself a magical unicorn, as I call you guys a magical unicorn as well, because I believe each and every one of us are very much magical yet unmagical in a sense. We are creators, we are loving, and we are capable of doing whatever our heart desires, but we forget that we are magical because we're so accustomed to just being unmagical. So that's my little theory behind why the name came to be, and I've actually made that name with one of my great friends. So yeah, but going off right back to the topic I was saying before, I wanted to share a part of my journey because I also do believe that a lot of us do go through anxieties, trigger warning, depression, and a part of my reason why I even started this journey with you guys is not to only share part of my life, but to also spark a little bit of hope and encouragement and light that you're not alone if you're going through a depression, or if you're having anxiety, or if you're diagnosed with a type of disease, or whatever it is that you're going through in life. You're struggling, you just feel like you're just stuck, don't know where to start. You're not alone. You're welcome to this community. And I do see that the way that I want to reach out to you all is gonna be a lot more different this year. And let's just sit down, grab your favorite snack, or grab your lunch, your dinner, your breakfast, and let's enjoy and eat our food together and talk about, well, listen to me speak to you about one of my stories that I've been wanting to let it out there, but I just been too maybe nervous to express myself to that extent of where I'm at in life. But I do believe that throughout the year of 2020 to 2024, I've been healing a lot of parts of myself that I never knew needed healing. And I believe that I'm truly ready to share this experience with you guys. I'll be telling you about the beginning of my journey to how I even got diagnosed with anxiety and PTSD. Let me take a bite of this. I want to try this food before it gets cold. Oh, this mac and cheese is delicious. It's very, very good. This cornbread. Try the beans. I love beans. And I love greens. I'm not gonna be able to eat all this, but boy, it smells so good. Like, want some? Here you go. I'll try it. Oh, it's so good. By the way, how's your day been? How's your night been? How's your evening going? You know, my day's been pretty well. It's a pretty cloudy day today. It may be raining, but we need the rain. It's been hot. We're going into spring, or we're already in spring. So yeah. By the way, I'm literally eating this on top of a box. Gotta be creative sometimes. And of course, I have my water. Recently, I've been adding lime into my water. Like, even when I go out, I always ask for lime. I don't know, something about lime water, it just feels like it refreshes me. So, it's something that I like doing. This food is so good. Originally, I was thinking about eating some chicken. I've been craving Wingstop. Their ranch is like, they're doing something to their ranch or something, because their ranch be so good with their fries. But I wanted to do more like veggies, because I love getting veggies, and then the chicken. But you know, surprise to this. So I will say everything started in the year 2017. So I've always knew that I have some type of sort of like anxiety issue, because throughout my life I'll have like snippet little episodes, and I used to always tell people like, yeah, I get panic attacks. But really just like, what do you mean? I never knew. I'd never been diagnosed, but somehow inside of me, I understood that I suffered from it. Throughout my life, I've always been someone to always just be naturally anxious, and I always worry about everything. I overthink a lot. I'm an overthinker. My brain is always everywhere. My friends always joke around. They can never figure out what I'm thinking about, because they never know what to expect from me. It's like they know me, but, and I do quotation marks because this is how they do it. They're like, I know you, but like, you're one of those that you just never know what to expect, because you don't have like a straight pattern. You'll have a pattern, but then you just go and change your ways. And I'm just like, okay. But in 2017, I was doing a lot, I will say. You know, I've been working, and I got really into traveling a lot. I've always loved traveling, and traveling has always been a big thing in my family, because I feel very blessed that I grew up in a family where traveling has been a privilege for us. Like, I've always been taken out to go to Orlando or to different places, venture out, learn. Like, I'm very blessed to come from the family that I come from. So they've exposed me to that lifestyle. However, around that year, I started experiencing that want to know more of life itself. I kept praying about it. I kept wishing, I want to experience things. I want to go through things. I want to just, life to hit me and boom, hit me in my face and be like, hello. Little do I know, careful what you ask for. Careful what you ask for. Oh, does the universe love to give you what you want when you least expect it. So I've started having little anxiety here and there. I've noticed that when I get inside cars and I was in the car for too long, it felt like I felt claustrophobic. I felt like I needed to put down the window, like I couldn't breathe, like something inside of me wasn't right. It just didn't feel right. My family and friends would tell me it's okay, just breathe. Have you tried meditating? Maybe go to a hypnosis or something. Maybe they have them clear your mind. That may help. Like all types of advices. But I was too much in the fast lane. I wanted to travel. I wanted to experience things. I wanted to learn the party life. I wanted to build my own foundation. Work. Go. And not really truly sit down, look at myself, and try to piece together why I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling. Feeling this feeling of feeling like I'm alone, because I feel like we all somewhat feel like we're alone at times in life. We're really not alone, by the way. Amen. But feeling like no one understood me, right? At least that's where I was at that time. Fairly young, I'm still in my 20s. This was like in my early 20s. And on this year specifically, I decided, hey, with my friends, we decided to go to Vegas for different reasons, right? Excited, first time going. We get a hotel. You know, Vegas, there's like slot machines and stuff everywhere, and everybody is so happy over there. And of course, you know what I'm trying to say, the blow in the air type of stuff is there too. If you understand, comment down below. Oh, let me try this rice. I'm over here eating this, not even having to try the rice. Why am I so clumsy? Still eating it. Right? So, we get to Vegas, and I feel free.
I'm grown. I'm doing things that I want.
Drinking whatever I want. Not to say that I was like a crazy party girl, because I never have been. Nor has it ever been like my cup of tea. I love the environment of wanting to dance. That's always been what I love. I come from a very happy, joyous family, and I grew up with the whole partying, but like in a healthy way, not to say that there's unhealthy and unhealthy way, but I'm just saying that it was all about just feeling free type of feeling. Long story short, I've decided wanted to try edibles. Right? I'm not one to do stuff like that, but I've always been the type of person in life that I want to try it all. I want to experience it all. I feel like in life, we have this free will to do things, and as people classify things that are good and things that are bad, I understand the reasoning behind it, but I've always been one to always want to try it all, because I don't know, I want to experience. That is what life is, for us to create and experience and learn and understand and grow. And I've learned that the darkest hours in our moments in life may not feel it at the moment, but in the future you realize it has been the greatest gift that you can receive, because it molds you to the person that you will become and are becoming. Keep that in mind. No. Anyways, let me fix my foot because it's falling asleep. Okay, hopefully you can still see the food somewhat. I know that I'm not the greatest mukbang person, and I don't know the angles of it all, but you know, I try. So anyways, as I'm a person that loves to experience things, I decided, yeah, I'm gonna try edibles, and yeah, I'm gonna try smoking weed. And I tried it. Boy, was it an experience. Let me tell you. I smoked one weed, took an edible gummy. This is all in one day, by the way. So I smoked some weed, right? Then I had an edible gummy. And then later on that same day, I had pieces of wheat brownie. And then within the same day, I also decided to smoke a different type of weed. Tell me how crazy I was to even try all of that in one day. Yeah, yeah. I know. I know. Now, I didn't know any better. I've never done this before. All of my friends were the same way. We're like, you never know until you try. And we had each other. So it was like 4 of us, including me, together. And we had each other, and we're always been there for each other. These are friends that I've had since like high school years. So, and they're still in my life. Like, we're family, basically. And I was the one that kept eating now, I'm a chocoholic person. I love chocolate. Now, I never understood the whole point of why people did what they did when it comes to like eating edibles and stuff like that. Nor I never understood what spices it contains. I say spices, whatever. And nor was we taught how to properly take them and to be cautious when we do something like this, because of how dangerous it can be when you don't know what you're doing. Well, let's say we learned a lesson that night. Yeah, did we learn a lesson? So throughout the day, you know, we're walking around and experiencing Vegas for its how it is, the totality of it. It's a very gorgeous, beautiful place full of like a lot of happy, beautiful people, I must say. So I want to go back, but when I go back, I want to actually enjoy it, not do the decisions I made when I was younger. No. I know why people are like, oh, why go there? It's like, so everybody has their reasoning why. I want to go because I want to experience. I want to look at the places and accept the beauty for it all. Like, I'm a one person that I love anywhere and anywhere you take me on earth. And I look at the beauty for even the parts that people just don't care about. Everything in life is beautiful. Anything and everything. Even the parts that people are not calling beautiful are beautiful. At least in my eyes, right? This is so good. Very good. But anyways, so the night comes and we're all in the room chilling. We just had the brownie. Me being an unexperienced crazy person, decide I'm gonna eat a little bit more than everybody else. I don't feel anything. I don't see the whole hoorah of doing all of this, right? Oh no, poor me. I was gonna learn my lesson. Little did I know the door it was gonna open in my life. Little did I know the challenges I was gonna face. Little did I know that Earth was like,
Remember when you asked for all of this to happen to you? Oh, here you go.
have fun at it. Yeah. So, I'm laying in bed. I'm sitting there And I just got done eating more of the brownie, but I'm like, let me put it away. Now, it was like maybe this big. We only ate like this part of it together as 4. I had like this amount, maybe, and then I had another this amount, right? So like a quarter size. Yeah. So I'm sitting in bed. I'm just there, wall just chilling. All of a sudden, boom! It's like I feel like this warm hole of like colors hit me in my face. I feel like I'm no longer here. Something inside of me is saying, oh, Lillie, something is wrong. Freak out because you're not okay. I felt like I was here, but not here. It's the best way I can express it. I like to call this moment my NDE. If you don't know what an NDE is a near-death experience. I believe I somewhat had one. I don't know yet. I've spoken to this to my lover, family, and friends, and I thank God every day that I went through what I went through, and it has helped me to see the world from a different point of view than the way a lot of people may look at the world now. So I'm sitting there. All of a sudden I see this like portal warp hole open, and it's like different colors coming at me, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And it's like my eyes are closing but they're open, and I'm freaking out. First thing I tell my lover is call 911, and he's like, what do you mean call 911? I'm like, call 911 now. Like, I didn't know why I needed for an ambulance to be there, but something inside of me said, you need to call. You need to have someone call, because what you're going through is not normal. Now, I know people call it a trip. I've learned that afterwards, but because of the amount of intakes I've taken, it wasn't the safest for me. And I also knew that I was suffering from some type of anxiety and depression at the moment. So that and that did not mix well for me, at least for me. For me. I can only speak for me at the moment. And when that was going on, it felt like my consciousness, my brain, and my body was 2 different things, but one at the same time. So I'm telling him, please call. I don't care. Just please do it. And he's like, are you sure? Just sit down. It's okay. Just breathe. You're feeling it right now. That's all it is. I'm like, no, I'm telling you, I'm not okay. Something's wrong with me. And I felt like my body being pulled, like it was being pulled out, like my soul was being pulled out. It's the best way for me to express it. And I'm like telling him, please do it. Let X, Y, and Z, this other person that was there with us, who was like a mentor to us at the moment, know, hey, this is what happening to me. Have that person come here now, because this person kind of like was the one that kind of exposed us to this. But that's another different story. Whatever. Person never even showed up. I'll call the person Snow. Why Snow? I don't know. I'm looking at a snowman right now. So I'm telling him, tell Snow to please come. I don't know what's going on, but I'm not okay. Please call 911. So he's like, okay, they call 911, whatever is being called. Fine. Next thing you know, I guess he let Snow know. Long story short, Snow never came. Snow was under this impression that we were just there for the ride and all this extra shenanigans. And to me, I felt like, you know, people are going to be, and they're going to look at things from a different point of view. I've learned to respect that. And let's just say it let me realize Snow is not someone that I can be reliable with, right? Cool. So next thing you know, I'm standing in the middle of the room, and I can feel my body screaming. I started screaming. I saw one of my friends standing, like sitting on the bed, and I guess he was like scared, and I felt my lover holding me because I went into the bathroom and I came out and I just started screaming. I don't know why I was screaming, but I was screaming. The only thing I can remember from my point of view is that I was feeling like I couldn't breathe. I was hyperventilating, and I couldn't breathe. And I felt like I was transported to this underworld where everything was just fire. Fire was everywhere. It was this place that was hot, scorching hot. Like, I can't express. It felt like my skin was burning off. And I remember I kept saying, I'm burning, my skin is burning, I'm hot, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. And I don't know what's going on really, but I couldn't see anything. I felt like I was in this dark place where all I saw was fire. And I was like, this can't be happening. I cannot be leaving this world. I am way too young. Please, God, save me. And it was like all of a sudden I started thinking of my mom. Like, I can't. Like, something inside of me was telling me that I am not ready yet. It's not my time, because there's so much that I still need to do on this earth. There's so much I still need to do here. And it was like images flashing back of when I was 12, when I was 13, when I was 5, when I was 4, when I was a baby, which is weird. It's like my life was playing in front of me, and I was like, this can't be happening, this can't be happening. And I just kept saying, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. And I felt like I was running. I don't know if I was really running. I guess I was, because I was then told the other version of what they saw versus what I was feeling. And I just kept saying I couldn't breathe, and I felt myself running back and forth, back and forth. And then I reached to a point where I just couldn't breathe anymore, and I felt like I was just basically giving up. And it was just so basically I stopped, and I was on the floor, or I just felt like I was just somewhere where, honestly, it felt like I was no longer on Earth. I felt like I was in a different dimension at this point. Don't know why, but it just felt that way. And I remember saying, please, please, I'm too young. Like, there's so much that I still need to do. My mom, I can't leave her like this. It's too early. I can't just leave her like this. And as I was saying my last breath, I remember telling myself, okay, it's okay. I guess I accept what I've done. And I just couldn't believe that, hearing all these stories of people like overdosing and the things they've done, and I can't believe I was one of them, from a trip that I wanted to just take just to have fun. And next thing you know, I was in this very dark room. I couldn't see myself. I felt like I didn't really have a body, but I knew I had a body. It was weird. Like, I couldn't see my body, but I knew I was something. I was something. I don't know if I was a person, but I was something. And I was in this very, 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 very dark room. And as I thought that I was going somewhere, I was just floating there. I was just floating in pitch darkness, nothing. I was just there, and I was just looking around, and I was just like, where am I? Why am I just here? Literally, like, maybe I was there for like a minute. Literally like a minute. I wasn't even there long. It felt like forever, but I knew it wasn't forever. And I was only there for like a minute. All of a sudden, I felt this thunder, like lightning voice, deep voice of a man saying no. Like, that's all he said, was just no. Like, it was like a no, like that type of feeling. Like, you ever seen Hercules? You know Zeus, when he speaks and it's like thundering? Yeah, it was like that. And all of a sudden, I felt like I was being pulled. Like, I couldn't stop whatever was happening to me. It was just happening against my own will. And all I heard was no. And something was just pulling me. And as I was being pulled, I was being pulled out of this darkness that I was in. It was like this tiny little hole like that. Very tiny. Very tiny. Just want you to know. And as I was being pulled, it was like, you ever been on a roller coaster? For those that probably have never been on a roller coaster, because I understand, for me, I used to be scared of roller coasters, but I've learned that I love them. It felt like, well, if you've been on a roller coaster, you know the feeling where you're like just rushing through something and just takes you. Like, you know where you go up the mountain and right at the peak, you go down and just go whoosh. That's what it felt like. For anyone that's never been on a roller coaster, just imagine that your body is being pulled. Like, you ever had a wagon or something that you're pulled with you and you can see the speed of it taking off? Or have you ever been in a car and you just floored it and then you just feel that rush? Or better yet, I'm trying to give different scenarios so people can understand the feeling. You ever been on a plane and when the plane is landing or taking off, it has to go at a certain speed so it can go up, or when it goes down, it lands, but then it goes at a very fast speed because you're on air, you're going at a certain speed, but it slows down afterwards. That's the exact same feeling, like that jerk feeling of being like, yeah, it was like that. And the more I was being pulled in, the bigger the hole got. And it was like this very, very, very huge, bright, like super bright white light. It was so bright, it felt like it was gonna blind me, but I knew it wasn't gonna blind me. It's like brighter than the sun type of feeling, but more of a white light. And as I was finally pulled through to that light and I came out the light, I was back here on earth. I was on the floor. Security guard, police officer was on my left. My lover was in front of me. Apparently I was sitting up and I saw these two gentlemen. I guess they were also security guards in suits. Me being still like intoxicated, I guess, was like, are you the Grim Reaper? Because what I've experienced, I didn't tell anyone, by the way. I didn't tell anyone about this experience for like a very long time because I felt like no one would believe me. And it was just something out of this world that I was just like, I can't express it. I just wasn't ready. And they were laughing at me because they're just like, no, you just had like a trip. You're good. We're so happy you're here. I couldn't feel my body. My body felt so heavy. Whenever I was going through this experience, I felt super light. As I came back, my body felt very heavy. I remember saying, look, I know you guys want me to get up, but I can't. Like, my body won't let me. They're like, it's okay. We'll help you. You'll be fine. I was trying my very best to stay in the moment because I felt like I was going to go back to that experience. Because it's like I felt like there was a line. And I was nor here nor there. I was in the line. So within that line that I was in, it was like, I'm here on Earth. But as much as I was here, I still felt like I had like a foot on this side of wherever that was. And I can easily just go back to this side and leave this where I'm at now. So I tried my very best to hold on. They're just like, we're not going to ask you many questions. Just, stay with us. And I'm like, okay. They take me to the ambulance or whatever. When I was in the ambulance, I felt like I couldn't feel my body. And it was weird because at one point I kept asking questions to the people in the ambulance because it was a way of me knowing that I was still here. I knew that if I didn't stop asking questions or didn't stop talking, that I was afraid of going back where I was, not knowing what the unknown was. I can tell that they were annoyed with me, but I couldn't also speak the reason why I was doing it. Like, I didn't really have full control of my mind or the reasoning of why I was doing things. I knew from the inside of my mind why, but I didn't have control to speak my reasoning why. It was weird. It's like I didn't have full control of my body yet. And at one point, as I was looking at this gentleman, I wanted to get up. But instead of me getting up, it almost felt like my soul was getting up, like I was breaking away from myself. And I can tell because then he started looking at my vital signs and he was just like, no, stay with us. He started freaking out and then he started doing some weird thing. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. I'm not supposed to pull, because if I pull, I may see something that I may not be ready for. So I just, okay, I'm not gonna move. And I stayed just like that. He kept telling me to sleep. I'm like, nah, I'm going to sleep. You don't know what I literally just experienced. I'm gonna just sit here, ask questions. Are we there yet? Whenever do, like, just have minor talks until we get there. And, long story short, I got there. They helped me and I got better. The rest of the trip, did not drink or anything. Well, I did drink, but I stayed away from stuff like that. Till today's date, I've not done stuff like that. I believe all my friends are quite scared. The security guard police officer that helped my lover, which I was so grateful for, apparently his daughter went through the same thing. So from his point of view of his story, he was then letting me know that they had to set me up and doing certain tips that will help me to come back, I guess, and feel better. And these type of things apparently happens a lot over there, which was heartbreaking to hear, but that was gonna be okay. So I come back to my place back in Miami, and let's just say that story that I just expressed to you was the beginning of my panic attack series. After that, I started having panic attacks like back to back to back to back within the same day. And I was having them because I was scared. I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, I knew I had anxiety and whatnot, but I've never been someone to actually like suffer from this type of panic attacks like this. I've never really experienced them like this. So for me to have them back to back to back to back was just like, what's going on with me? I'm grateful to my job because they were understanding and they let me take some days off so I can heal. And they told me, like, make sure you're 100% before you come back because you're going through change in life. And I feel very blessed that I had that support. And I had anxiety back to back to back to back to back, panic attacks back to back to back to, like, meditating to me was like the worst because I couldn't allow my mind to think, because I will think about what happened to me and then be like, this can't be happening. And I kept telling my mom and friends, like, hey, like, my anxiety is getting worse. Like, I started experiencing heart palpitation where it was like, what did he call it? When your heart beats fast. I forgot the name of it. But I started having those, like, it was really, really bad. And it got to a point where, when the boy cries wolf, no one believes until it actually happens and everybody's like, oh crap. So one day at work, I was left alone, taking all the loads. That's another thing. I'm a person that I feel like I'm a very strong person. I take in a lot of responsibilities and I don't complain. So it was one of those days where I had to do extra, a lot more than what I normally would do. And I ended up having another panic attack. And this time around, my panic attack was huge. Very huge. I started sweating. And I knew this was going to happen because I remember waking up from this dream that I had. Which I won't really express because I've already expressed and told you a story. But I had a dream that something was going to happen, and that actually happened. And yeah, just weird things started happening to me. That will be another discussion later down the road. But I had a dream that this was going to happen, and it happened. And I ended up having that panic attack. And that's kind of like what opened the doors to me going into therapy, a psychiatrist, and taking medication, and understanding what it's like to breathe, control my breathing, to where I'm at today. Now, this time when it happened, I told myself, you know what, Lily, you gotta get yourself together. I promised myself I'll never go back to the hospital for anxiety issues or panic attacks, because I had to learn. I had to learn how to deal with it. And that's exactly what I did. The meat just falls off the bone. It's really good. Now, for so long, I feel so unlucky that I went through this experience. I even envy those that didn't really have any type of like health issues. Because I'm like, you don't understand how healthy you are and you complain about things. You should be so grateful about the fact that you're even healthy, right? Now, of course, everything was new for me, and thank God the meds I've been on have not been any type of antidepressant or anxiety. It has been medication that's, bless you, has been medication that's been on, that is for like allergies, apparently. Bless you. Apparently it can help because it calms me down. And thank God I've never really actually been on those type of medication. And I also put in all the hard work into learning how to breathe. And one thing I will say that helped me a lot was prayers. Really allowing myself to welcome my anxiety and depression and panic attacks. Instead of me fighting against it, I surrendered. And I was like, I understand. This is where I am now. This is who I am now. Let's work together. Let's co-create together. So there could be one. I will love myself more. I would understand you more. It was like I was talking to that part of me. Because, quite honestly, I didn't really have self-love. And people look at me now and they're like, oh my gosh, you're so confident. Sure. But I had to go through it to get there, you know? I put myself up there. And I can't say how grateful I am I went through what I went through, because it has allowed me to be the person I am now. Sure, it took like a year or so for me to like finally stop. I graduated from didn't need therapy anymore and my psychiatrist and all that. But it was all through hard work, prayers, many prayers. I surrendered myself to my God. There may be a lot of people that are not religious, and that's fine. It's okay. But I know that's what got me through it. And I guess the whole point of me expressing this part of my life is to let you know, whether you're at where you're now because of where experience you had in life, depression, anxiety, like myself, you're not alone. And if you really feel like there's nothing left, no, there is something left. Just all I can say is, if you just give in and allow yourself to just feel the feelings and emotions, and trust that what you're doing for the greater good is for the greater good of who you are at the moment, who you will be in the future, you're going to look back, you're going to say, thank God. Because when I was asking to have all these experiences, I didn't literally mean, or know, I should say, that it was going to happen to me in the way that it did. But I was so grateful, because if it didn't happen to me, if I didn't allow this part of my life to happen, I would not be as thankful as the person I am now. I've always been humble, but I'm much more humble. I look at material stuff and yeah, they're great, but I do know that what's more important to me is my family, the time I spend with my family. Every time I can, I always go visit my mom, and always try to have time with my friends, and I was like visiting my aunts and just my family in general. I love taking time to be with them. Even when I'm exhausted and tired, I do it, because love is very powerful. And if it wasn't for my mom and my aunts and the support of my family and friends, and I honestly don't know if I would have been the person I am now. Some people are truly alone and don't really have family or friends, but don't feel like you're alone, because you're not. And going into this year, I feel like a lot has happened to me, but for the greater good. And what I can say is that life is so beautiful. We get so stuck into the way we perceive life should be, being told what's right and wrong, being told what we should do, who we should become, who we should be. But we don't even listen to what's within our heart, our desires. And we're so stuck in the way life is painted to us now that we forget we are such beautiful, strong, powerful creators. And we can create whatever our heart desires for the greater good. And because we don't put in the effort, we forget who we really truly are. And I hope this story that I expressed to you and I shared with you is more so for you to understand that even at your darkest hours and darkest time, because man, oh man, did I go through some dark times trying to like push through. But it was because I chose to push through, because I chose to go through it, that made me develop my mind where I am now. People will say, oh, I may not be able to work or be the same way I was because of how my mind is now. But yet, my mind has been stronger than it's ever been in the past. I can do so much. I am very flexible. I'm shown and proven that I'm such a hard worker. I've done so many things I never even thought that I would be able to do, because I felt like I had to relearn all of my emotions, because all my emotions felt like it would trigger my anxiety, my panic attacks. It was literally a learning experience, but it was the best experience as well, because it's gotten to who I am now, and I am forever grateful, and I am so happy to be part of what world is now, part of this earth, because there's so much more that I want to experience, so much more that I want to do, and so much more I want to start sharing with you guys. And I know I've been putting out a lot of different videos. You know, I'm doing this more of like a hobby per se, really. But I'm gonna actually start sharing with you more of my why. The healing part. The you're not alone. And start creating now. Don't think of the past, don't think of the future, but be focused more on the now, on the what can I do for me now, because whatever you do now determines your tomorrow, and whatever you do now will also reflect your past. And it took me a long time for me to realize that and learn that. And so yeah, that's basically my story. I've only ate a little bit, but hey, I'm already full. Not the greatest on Munkbang. But I thank you guys for always showing support, for those who are always watching my videos. If you are new, again, thank you for clicking little on me. And for listening to this experience that I just wanted to share with you, and to let you know that you can get through whatever you're going through. And yeah, subscribe, join the family, and let us grow together and continue to share more things of how we can help each other, elevate each other, and just know that love is so powerful. It can get us there. And even when we feel like we don't have it, we can get it. We do have it. It's within us, within our birthright. So apart from that, I've been thinking about creating my own gardening, my own vegetable garden. I've really got into, during the pandemic, I really got into gardening, and I had like, my kitchen window was high above my sink, and I really got into like having multiple vegetable plants. I don't anymore because I never kept up with it. But now I feel like I actually truly want to embrace that part. I love that part of me. And honestly, we forget that we can create our own things. So I'm going to also share with you this experience I'm going to go through with creating my own vegetable garden. So we'll see how that goes. But I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Comment down below if you want to watch more videos like this, what you want to watch me do more videos of, and maybe share your experience, enlighten others, share the love, hit that like button, and subscribe again, hit the notification button. And until next time, this is Magic Unicorn is stepping out. Bye. Whoop. Wait. Whoop.